Somebody was asking me recently about this weather anchor being very charitable that's on KTVU at noon. I don't know her name. I've seen her once or twice, but I've just kind of skipped by her. Same thing in Channel 7, their morning show, or like a circus. Wait a minute, that's doing injustice to circuses with Reggie Aki and the other assorted yumbuses. Kron, barely watchable. The Chronicle, I've already said, is a joke. It has been a joke for years now, but at least before, they had credible people, reporters, and various columnists to which they were legit. And I realize that sometimes I beat a dead horse, but I have, in my lifetime, and I grew up in the 70s, I have never, ever witnessed such a sorry act of a media society, if I can even call it that, here in the Bay Area. San Francisco, the alleged founder of free speech, the cosmopolitan supposed capital of the world. We who mock LA, beat LA, beat LA, which in and of itself is bullshit. And yesterday, and so phony. God, that jumped the shark. I, I I watch today. I try. I can't watch all because then I would truly probably want to kill myself. The various television people today and what are like could be charitably called our local news. It is, folks, you watch, it's so profoundly dumb and inane, and people that should not be near a microphone, that in many cases shouldn't even be behind the camera or near a microphone on radio, the little radio that we have. Wait a minute, we don't have any radio. We don't. But our TV news, oh my God, whether it's a reporter, there's new reporters every day. I cannot keep count. I do know one thing. They keep the economy of bus drivers intact from throwing these people off the bus from Fresno to San Francisco and beyond. It's truly unbelievable. It's god awful. It's getting worse. Where do they get these people? And I know the business is changing. I know the business has become such dreck and what have you, fill in the blank. But where do they get these people? Where do they come from to put them on the air? It's, folks, in my day, and that wasn't that long ago, you trained people. You put people on a trial run before they actually went on the air, whether it was TV, especially TV, or radio. There were a few people that could come right out of college, wherever, and go right on to the air. These days, there is no training. They put anybody on. I mean, literally anybody. And I am, call me naive, I'm still amazed that these people can see getting on the air. Now, granted, hardly anybody's watching these days. Viewership is way down, and that's across the board. Network and local, which is why every one of these alternatives is killing each other off. There's a saturation point. It's taking place before our very eyes. There's so many things to watch and to observe and to look and to whatever, be it, streaming now and all these sites. they've managed to diminish. They've managed to diminish what we have today. And the few of us that continue to watch local news, I some of the things I frankly literally don't even know the names of some of these characters. And I think to myself, how did it get on the air? Now, granted, there's not much, there's not much, how can I put this? Getting on the air these days used to be a pretty difficult time. These days, it's easy. They just throw anybody out there. And I shudder to think about people who used to work in the business, who maybe still some who are just hanging on, what they feel. You know what they feel? I've talked to a few of them. I've spoken to people who used to work on the air. Some of them comment here. You read the comments. Some of them have told me privately how disgusted they are. And look, you could say all along people 20 years ago thought that the people prior to their situation, prior to their reign was bad, but they don't say that. They might shake their head and say, stylistically, I should have done it this way, or they should have done it that way. But they didn't have the profound embarrassment that many of us feel today and see today. And I don't know where this is headed, but it's not headed in the right direction. Where is it headed? We put all these yahoos on the air and the radio. Oh my God. Well, again, we don't have any radio in the Bay Area. And the reason why I'm profoundly distracted by all this and amazed still is because I've watched the alternatives, like I mentioned before. I've watched LA and Chicago and Boston, Houston, Sacramento. You know what? These are markets that still have some valor, that still have some decorum. Even Sacramento. I've said this to a number of people. Compared to what the Bay Area is today, the joke that we have on an ongoing basis, anchors that shouldn't be anywhere near the camera, reporters that come up, they're not even from here, and they don't even know the geography. I've said that before. They have no iota of what they're reporting on, let alone where they're reporting from, the correct pronunciation of the street or the lake or the avenue or whatever, the flimsy assignments that they assign these morons to. And I'm going to call them morons. That's a strong word. It's pejorative, personified. Yeah, it is. But what the fuck is taking place? What is happening here, ladies and gentlemen, is so tragic. In a supposed major market like San Francisco? Are you kidding me? No, you're not. I am profoundly moved by this in the wrong way. I continue to marvel at how shitty it's become, how much dreck that that our viewing habits have taken us to, which is why people are tuning out, which is why you have schmucks like Mike Meeback on the air, or the idiotic weather woman at KTVU on Channel 2. Why Reggie Aki gets on Channel 7, even though nobody watches, because he's a joke. And the other various people, misfits at best, that are allowed to report whatever they're reporting on. I am amazed. Call me naive at how these people can continue to get the keys to the kingdom, even though nobody is watching, which is why nobody's watching, because they have these morons on the air. And I don't care whether a woman, a guy, black, white, gay, straight. My goodness. And the people that are hanging on, for what? Most of them have spouses. They don't need the money. Is it ego? Yeah, I think it is. Roberta Gonzalez, what the hell are you doing? on Channel 2. What? We need to have another Elvira? Roberta, my God, do you need to just hang on? You've made it. You had your time at 36 in San Jose and KPIX. How long are you going to keep going on? Are you that ego driven, Roberta? And these other people. Oh my God. And Bill Martin, speaking of Channel 2, Mr. Kiss Ass. Bill, what has happened to you, Bill Martin? I know you're getting a good chunk of coin still. I know you were about to retire a couple of years ago. Bill, you mumble and stumble, you know, and I'm being blunt because I'm being blunt. Look, I'm not the greatest thing since sliced bread either, Bill. But to sit there and to mumble and not give us whatever the information that we're seeking, okay, maybe you're still scientifically inclined, but for God's sakes, Bill, do you ever look at your weather reports? Do you watch? And Brian Hackney, I have a lot of respect for you, Brian. I think you're fantastic. I think you do a good job, but put off the persona. We know you think you're the smartest guy in the room, and you are. You're a smart guy, but do you have to have the fact? Do you have to think as if and report and anchor as if you're God's gift to the world? Folks, and in these cases, these are pretty direct kind of people, but at least somewhat they're nothing like any kind of, I mean, they're pros, but we don't have any style left. We have no people. We have this, I hate to keep talking about the women, but it happens to be women, and I picked on guys too. This Jessica Birch at Pix in the morning. Oh, she's a fighter pilot. I forgot. Well, in that case, put her on. Because last time I checked, if you're a fighter pilot in the military, that automatically qualifies you to be on the television airwaves to anchor the weather. First thing I look at, the hell with talent, the hell with people who have gone to broadcast school or college to learn about whatever craft, weather, news, broadcast journalism. No, let's put a fighter pilot on. My God. And Cron, you never, ever, ever, ever will get out of pre-Cron, current Cron, pre-gold standard Cron. Oh, I know that's a complete atonement of age-wise. Just, I don't know what the hell I just said. But Cron used to have decent people when they came out of their little weird shit. They put some competent people on. I know I complimented them. But now we're back to the joke, the Cron commercial, whatever you want to call it, station with some of these people. My God. This is amateur hour with a big apology to amateurs, some of whom do a good job, whatever endeavor they're in. I am completely flustered. I understand that people, by and large, who have some iota of a brain are completely put off by our current media, whatever the hell that is. They look at their screens and they shake their heads, if not literally, figuratively. They say, that's what we're reduced to. This is what we've become. Why are all the people leaving this business in droves? Television news? I give you the current state of our wonderful, and air quotes, media folks that we have today. I shudder to even think about radio because, again, folks, I keep forgetting, we don't have any radio in San Francisco, the Bay Area. And what we have of television news, oh my God. Oh my God. It's so sad. It is so sad. And I can't believe I am watching this. Somehow I know you feel the same way. I'm glad that I'm able to convey that message out to them because they don't understand. There are some good people left. Some of them are just hanging on. There's a lot of good people behind the scenes that are still left, thank God. Unfortunately, we don't see their work. We can only watch and listen to the dreck, the out and out dreck personified that constitutes Bay Area media today. You're not going to see that. And speaking of dreck, the comical, the San Francisco Chronicle, the crapola paper that still is around for whatever reason, because nobody reads the Chronicle anymore, even the online Chronicle or the dreck personified like SF Gate. What a travesty. And that's right, I said it, and I will continue to say it as long as it's out there. And I think it's going to be out there, unfortunately, for a hell of a long time forward.